All right, today we're going to go over an overview of the outbound side of Five9. So it's going to be for our outbound teams only. And essentially, first things we're going to want to do is just go to login.five9.com, as you can see here in the URL. Once you log in, you're going to see a couple different things here. Yours is going to look a little different. I've got some more options here since I'm logged in as an administrator, but you'll essentially have the agent, tools and add-ons, dashboard, and customer support, things you're not really going to utilize except for the agent. So we're going to focus on the agent, as this is pretty much the only portion that we're going to use. This is what we use for all of our phone systems here. All right, whenever we log in, we want to click this drop-down box and click web. This is going to log us in. The requirements here is you're going to have to make sure that you have internet access, obviously, preferably with a wired connection, not wireless. Wireless is not as efficient or effective. So you want to make sure that we have that in there correctly. Once you log in here, you're going to have your station ID, which I'll provide to you for you to utilize. And you always want to make sure soft phone is selected. All right, selecting here. While this is loading, the other requirement that I forgot to go over is a USB headset. So you cannot use a Bluetooth headset. It can't be a 3.5 millimeter headset as well. It has to be USB based. Otherwise, it just won't work with this. It can be a wireless USB headset, but that's about it. As you heard those 3 tones that just beeped, that is showing that it is detecting an audio device for us to do calls on. Right now, this just has it set up here to my default audio, but you want to make sure that your headset is selected here under here. So I'm going to do headset, and then this is showing headset as well. So this is connecting me with a Bluetooth headset right now, but this is not usually going to work when you're actually on a call. So for demonstration purposes, no problem at all. But you want to make sure that this is selected. Typically, if you have like a Logitech headset, it'll say Logitech headset, and just make sure you have those selected. Next, and on the outbound side, this is going to show all the different campaigns you can log into. When you're on the outbound side, this is only going to show the outbound campaigns. So for me, this is showing a ton of different campaigns. You'll have 15 to 20 maximum, because this is showing all of our inbound clients as well. So what you'll want to do is, when you look at your schedule of who you need to be calling for throughout the week, is you're going to select on that person's time slot. So right now, we're going to be calling for AA Real Estate Group outbound. We have this set up in our test settings right now, and we're going to select View Dashboard. Once that comes in, you'll be here right at your dashboard. You see your skills. You can see you're logged into only AA Real Estate Group. If for some reason you're logged into multiple ones, you want to make sure that you can fix that. So you can always select change, and you can go through and add and select the ones that you want to change or remove. Okay. We're going to go down to voicemail. You will need to check your voicemails every day for each campaign. So what I would maybe do is, when you log in the morning, or the evening, if you're working on the evening shift, is just log into all of the campaigns real quick, since you've only got 15 or 20 of them or so. And once you log in there, you're going to select ready, ready for, and we're going to change this to voicemail. That way you're only checking voicemails at this time. So do this first things first as you come in. If you have any voicemails, it's going to show up here under this voicemail queue. And what you're going to be looking for is voicemails from customers that have called back that are interested in selling a property. And if that's the case, we're just going to call them back and get them on the phone. Okay? In order to change that, all we'll have to do is go to training or something else, change the skills back to who we want to actually be logged in for, and then we can call for them individually. Now, when you do a callback, I'm going to do it from this call section because we don't have a voicemail in here. But you'll see a similar thing here with this drop-down box. You want to make sure that you select the campaign that you're actually calling for. So right now we're on AA Real Estate Group outbound. This is going to show the phone number for AA Real Estate Group on caller ID. Otherwise, if you select something else, it's going to have a 317 area code for this number, where AA Real Estate is going to have a different area code number. So you always have to make sure you select the correct one when you're doing an outbound call. And you'll get a similar prompt here when you're returning a voicemail. Okay. My activity is kind of a useful tool that you can actually go in and see all of your activity from the last, right now it's set for 14 days, but you can go all the way up to 60 and actually view how many calls you've had come in over the last 60 days, what numbers they were from, talk time, how long your wrap-up time was, what the campaign was, what your disposition was. So you can really go back and see all of these different calls if you need to, and be able to, if you forget to write one down or something like that, you can go back and do it. All right, let's get to the phone call side of things. Actually, before we do that, real quick here on the top right, all of these, the only things I'm going to have you worry about is your settings right here, because you can make sure that your audio device is set up here correctly. You don't really want to change anything else in here that is on there. All right, but in order to change your audio device or to reset it, you can select here and click on those. All right, now to the calls. So we have this set up in training mode right now. So this is going to have calls come in back to back to back. Typically, this is only going to happen when a seller actually connects on the phone with us. So if it goes to a voicemail, you're not really going to see it. So we're going to change it for ready for. We're going to take away voicemail and change it to voice. Press confirm. And this is what it's going to look like. It's going to pull the contact record here showing that we're looking for Brenda. And then it's got your script pulled up in here. And then it's going to pull in your data as well. So it's got your name, the opening hook. Hi, I was hoping to speak with Brenda. My name is Justin, and I'm sorry that this call is out of the blue, but I was actually calling about a home I believe you own on 30 Emery Street in Merrimack. And I'm actually looking to buy a home in your neighborhood. Wanted to see if you'd thought about selling it or would consider an offer. If they're not interested, okay, I completely understand. Did you have any other properties that you'd consider selling at this time? If no, okay, well, thank you for your time. Have a wonderful day. And if so, then we can move on through this next part of the script here. What we basically want to do at this point is just find out as much as we can about the property itself. Finding out the condition, last time things were updated, things like that. So that way we can go in and actually book an appointment. Now we want to try and get these 2 appointments as frequently as possible. And we typically want to look at it comparing to the Zestimate and what the Zestimate is of the property. So if their asking price is either at or below Zestimate, we want to try and book that appointment. If it's above and they're not really flexible, there's some other stuff that we can do there. I've actually got a separate training on booking appointments that I'll send the link over to you for the slideshow there. One thing to note here is at the bottom of these scripts, each time they come in, it's going to show the name of the company again, who we're calling for, what their market location is. So they're in Boston, Massachusetts with Eastern time zone. Their home buying specialist is Nick Allerud. We want to look at their Google Calendar for availability. It's going to be under AA Real Estate Solutions. So this is going to be in your Gmail account. And then you've got the web form here for booking an actual appointment. So if you press the control button and click on web form, it's going to open it in a new link. We simply fill out the seller's information here, fill out all the data, and then submit it for them. And then for booking that appointment, we're going to go in there on Google Calendar and actually book an appointment with them. All right. Once we're done with a call, we can either press end call or we can disposition the call. So I'm going to do this as a test call for now, and then we'll see the next call is then going to come in here for Richard Sullivan. So same thing, it's going to pull his address in here for 6 Relay Street in Lynn. It looks like this list, they might be missing the city or the state and zip code, but these are all going to be in the Boston, Massachusetts area. So pretty much the same thing there. Every client is going to have a little bit different information here at the bottom, but as you go through, if you have any questions, just let us know. But this is a brief overview of Five9, and that's pretty much it.